let you go, 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 go. I'll never let you go, 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 go. I'll never let you go.
Hey guys, I'm so excited. It's the first episode of my podcast, and I have a very, very, very special co-host. But before we get started, I want to tell you why I wanted to do this podcast. I have, just over the past few years, really grown a serious appreciation for family and the value of family. And so I get so busy working, and I just thought it might be pretty cool to incorporate my family in my work life. And my favorite person is here. And so I'm super excited to introduce my co-host and my always special guest, my grandmother, Miss Tina. How you feeling?
Wonderful. Doing wonderful, Terrence. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Welcome to my workspace. How you feeling?
Wonderful.
When I came to you with the podcast, what did you think about it?
It was a great idea.
Yeah.
When you came to me, I was excited.
Yeah.
And wow, Terrence, what, me and his podcast?
Yeah, of course.
But I said, I would be glad to.
I'm glad you did it. I was a little bit nervous at first because I was like, I don't know how comfortable you are on camera and how, but I just said, because I know how much you cut up. And so I just like, she'll be fine eventually. So I'm happy to do it. People don't know what the name of the podcast is yet, and we are a few minutes in. So I guess maybe we should tell them. The name of the podcast is called Before We Forget. What do you think about the name?
I love the name.
Yeah, what does Before We Forget sound like to you? What does it make you think of?
When you said before we forget, my mind just went back to, the things that we've been through.
Yeah.
And also, how God has brought us
For sure.
this far.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've also lost, we've experienced a lot of loss in our family. So, I think we understand the importance of being able to tell each other how much we love each other, get the memories, get it on the table. And I think we create a lot of memories too.
Yeah.
So I think just getting the opportunity to share love with each other, give each other our roses while we're here.
Right.
That's what this means to me.
Yes.
So I decided to call the podcast Before We Forget for all the reasons I just said. And I didn't even vet it with you, so sorry. I just named it Before We Forget.
Okay.
But I decided to call it Before We Forget because when I was a kid, you would take me to school in the morning, and we would always have conversations and things like that, and we would talk about memories. And I would always ask you probing questions because I was trying to get into your tea. I was trying to see what you hadn't told anybody. So I would ask you probing questions, and I really got to really just appreciate you and see you from a different perspective. And so I wanted to share that with the world. So I want to call it Before We Forget so we can put our cards on the table and so on and so forth.
Okay. Terrence, I remember when, your mom had moved down, forget the name of the apartment she was in, but it was funny because she would drop you off at the bus stop.
Oh, yes.
She would drop you off at the bus stop, and here I come around looking for Terrence.
So,
and I would get Terrence and take him to school. I just didn't want you standing on the bus stop.
We were going through family drama at the time.
Yeah.
So my mother didn't want me to see my grandmother, but my grandmother was picking me up every morning for school. And she's picking me up every morning for school, and it was cold outside sometimes.
It was
and I was
cold,
waiting at the bus stop.
Yeah.
And you know what I never thought about? Why didn't she just want us to wait in the house?
Because, for one thing, you guys weren't on, that's when you had moved. She had moved.
Oh, okay.
And she wanted you to stay at the school that you were.
No, when I say instead of me waiting at the bus stop, why didn't I just wait in the house because it was cold outside until the bus came?
I have no idea.
Well, questions we will never know the answers to.
Nope.
Okay, so with this, so I want to start our first segment. Okay, the first segment of the show is called Before We Forget.
Before we forget.
Well, really, before I forget.
Okay.
So this is a purpose, and it is engaging. So if you're watching, you can put it in the comments. You can send us a DM, and let us know what moments you want to share. This is an opportunity for you to put your cards on the table and to say something juicy about yourself or something that will help people to understand you differently. So I'm going to say one thing that might be shocking. I think you know this. I say anything out my mouth. Let me clarify. So, when we're around the family, I'm typically the one spearheading the cut up. Right. But, people don't hear it. I might say it to Caleb or somebody sitting like a couple seats away from me, and so I'm always cutting up. So it might seem crazy coming from me, because I guess maybe you would least expect it from me, but I'm always the troublemaker, almost always. I think I get a rep for being a good kid, but I'm a troublemaker.
No, I don't think you're a troublemaker.
This is what I'm saying.
I don't think you are a troublemaker.
Well,
I don't.
if I ever get in trouble in court, I look forward to you advocating for me. What's something that you want to say about yourself? Something that you want people to know, and it got to be it doesn't have to be scandalous or salacious.
No,
but.
not juicy. No, that's not me. Okay, about me, I can say that I love God. Number one. Number two, I love my family. I just love family time. I love, I just like family time. Family time, being together. And, I was brought up with big family.
A huge family. How
My
many
mom
siblings?
had 12 children.
Jesus.
And I'm next to the baby.
Yeah.
I'm the 11th child.
Jesus.
Yes.
How was it growing up with a big family? Our family is still big. But how was it
It's
growing
still
up with a big
big.
family?
It was wonderful. I think that's why I love family time now. And I love big families because of, what the way I was brought up. But, my older sisters, I had older siblings. Again, I'm the 11th child. And the older ones had moved away from home.
Right.
They had moved away. So basically, it was myself, my younger sister, Susie, and Clarence. It was like
four.
5 of us,
Okay.
5, maybe 6 of us. Yeah.
What's the age difference between your youngest, Aunt Caretha?
Between
Y'all, listen to
Corita-
these names. Can you spit off all your siblings' names? Listen from the top.
From the top?
Yeah, so.
Okay, I sure can. There was, from the top was Erdy, Dolores.
Country.
Then Louise.
Country.
Then Florence.
Country.
Sally Mae.
That's country.
Then it was James Alfred. That was my oldest brother.
James Alfred. James Alfred. I got you.
And then it was Charlie. Then Joseph. Shirley. Clarence. Susie. Myself. And Coretha.
Can you mind telling everybody what your name is besides Tina? Where does Tina come from?
Okay. Well, my name is Clarice Ting.
It's so country. I love it.
And I get that a lot.
Yeah.
It's different because you mostly hear Christine,
Right.
Ernestine, but Clarice Ting is different.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, and I wonder why my mom named me that. Because if you think about it, my brother Clarence, part of our name was the same: Clarence, Clarestine.
Where'd she get it from?
I have no idea.
I have a theory about this, and we're going to start the tea early, okay? So out of all of my siblings, I'm the only one who doesn't know my dad, and I think y'all didn't pay attention to the signs. Let me tell you why. Brandon and Brittany, their names start with a B because their dad's name is B.
Right.
And the younger four, their names start with a
Start
C
with
because
C,
their father's
right.
name starts with a C.
Uh-huh.
Now, when I asked my mother why did she name me Terrence Shawndré, she said because I was naming you after your uncles. We should have known she didn't know who my father was then. She named me after Terry and Sean.
She sure did.
So we
Yeah.
should have known that then. Y'all should have paid attention to the signs. We had no idea. So
We had no idea. But you know what? I want to elaborate on something because before Creisha passed, she had went and did the DNA test, who she thought was your father, but he wasn't your father.
I know.
But when things were going through after she had passed, and I was trying to get custody of you and whatnot, Sean, your uncle, ended up, and it was just God, because when Tavia went to the house after she had passed, Tavia had brought these papers. We not knowing that
Oh, y'all didn't know.
We didn't know, not knowing that the paper
That's
she had
tea.
brought to the house was the DNA, the proof of DNA.
Okay, so for the people watching, let's update them. So my mom passed in '07.
Right,
Your first daughter, she passed in '07.
right.
You took custody of me
I
and my
took
two
us.
older siblings, Brandon and Brittany.
Right, right,
So you took custody of us three, and what we're talking about is just what that process was like.
right.
And I found out, I think it was either that year or the year before, that the person she thought was my father was not.
Right,
And
right.
it's so crazy because when she came to me to tell me, I was like, I already know this. Like,
You already knew
I
it.
already knew. Like, she was like, how'd you know? I was tall and slinky. He was short and stout. It just didn't make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So, yeah. So it didn't make sense to me. Okay, so you come from a big family.
Right.
We kind of have a big family
We
now.
do, we do.
I am of the school of thought that I don't know that I want to have children. Which I feel like is a big generational gap from when you were coming up. I think all of y'all probably thought when you get older, you get married, you have children.
Right.
So that brings me to the question, like, which generational differences do you recognize between, you know, your generation and all the generations that came after, the Gen X, Millennial, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha, which you are educating right now?
Wow. Well, it's a much different because when you go back and you say my generation and then your generation, what is the Gen X?
I'm a millennial.
You're millennial.
But your older three kids would have been Gen X. So
Gen X.
Cretia, Sean, Terry, they're Gen X. Bryant, Tavia, me, Brandon, Brittany, we're millennials.
Oh, I didn't know Tavia was a millennial. Okay. But it was
She
different.
thought you were old.
It was different. And even raising my three older children, raising them it wasn't hard. You know, I had dad.
What do you think what do you think made it what do you think made it not hard? Because I think about the generational differences that we might have. I have a list of them and I can go off on them. But what do you think
Right.
made it easy to raise them? And then was it more difficult to raise us after my mom passed?
Well, let me just say this. Let's kind of piggyback on my three older children. They were.
You look so beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank
Y'all
you.
did it to her. She looks so good.
I want to piggyback on my three older children, Lucretia, Terry, and Sean. I mean, they were respectful because, you know, I'm from the old school. They respected home. Yeah, and of course, being teenagers, you know, that's when you really get into problems when you're raising teenagers. Because, you know, I think they're coming into their own selves and whatnot. And, you know, then they want to do their own thing. But you still, Dad and I was there as a guardian, you know, to them. And I think that's what makes them who they are today, along with trusting God. With them, you know, back then, it wasn't as, let me say, now, as far as the world is and things going on in the world today, with them, I noticed Dad, we didn't want them going out, you know, because we didn't want them getting
You think
into...
they were sheltered?
No, I don't think they were sheltered. No. But it was just certain things that we didn't allow them to do. We didn't want them to do, you know. And then with you all, with Tavia and Bryant, you know,
I was about 12 years after them.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, I know.
And with Tavia and Bryant, you know, I'm going to piggyback on Tavia because I think Tavia was spoiled.
Tavia is her baby daughter who also did her
was-
makeup. She's here. She's just off camera. You can't see her.
Tavia was spoiled because I remember as a little girl, she would stand at the top of the steps. She would walk down and she would reach out her hands for Terry or Sean to pick her up. They would go up the steps, pick her up,
As
and bring
they
her
should.
down. Yep. That
As
was
they
their
should.
little sister. And Lucretia, you would have thought when I had when Tavia was born, you would have thought Tavia was her daughter instead of mine, because she didn't want me to say anything to Tavia.
Now, speaking of Lucretia, my mother, you say your kids were well behaved, but all the stories that I've heard of my mother was that she was not well behaved.
Oh,
That she was the problem child.
no.
Was she the problem child, or was she just being dramatic in her telling the story? She told the story of when she beat this girl up for spitting on your lawn. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Yeah. So
she did.
was she a problem child? It's okay.
No, but I think Cretia was more protective of me too.
Okay.
Because I remember a story when we all were in the basement. I had a fish tank there, and I don't know, something happened. The boy, Terry Sean, had made me cry.
Oh, I remember this.
And she came down and she
Held them
lifted
up
them
on
up against the wall. Yeah. But she was protective of me. She was.
I
yeah.
think maybe that's where I get it from too, because like I think there are very few things that make me, well, now, like nowadays I'm a little bit more like open to being emotional about things, but there are very few things that would like make me emotional and feel like I want to get riled up and protective. But it's always been, I would take somebody's life without thinking about it for you.
No. But
She
you
said
wanna-
no.
No. But you
I would.
you want to stay calm. Let me tell you something. I've been through a lot.
I know.
A lot. But with God's grace and His mercy, He's the one that has brought me through.
Yeah.
And
Well, if God don't fight for you the way you need him to, He got a good backup plan.
And I know, and I thank God for family, because my family, you guys support me.
Yes, we do.
You really support me.
And I didn't realize it until we were on a couple of different occasions. Like I just heard people organically saying how much they see how much your family loves and supports you, but it
Yeah.
doesn't register to me that people don't support and love their grandmother or just the people in their family the way we do, because it's such a thing that we do. So when people have families that aren't loving, that aren't caring, I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like. What do you think your parents instilled in you that made you instill that into us?
You know what I think they instilled in me, just seeing mom and dad. They were parents. The way they raised us, number one. And there were certain things we couldn't do. They didn't allow us to do and whatnot. But we were daddy's girls. We were. Dad had 8 girls, and he would always tell us. I remember he would say, don't depend on anyone. Don't depend on anyone.
Yeah.
Girls, I'm going to be honest, I used to cry a lot.
Really?
I used to cry a lot.
I wouldn't be able to believe that.
I did. And Dad would tell me, he said, if you keep crying, you're going to mess that pretty face up.
Oh.
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that you've always been kind of like, I can see that maybe you've been a little bit emotional. Oh,
Yeah.
I can see that maybe you've been like a little bit
Right.
emotional, but you've never really struck me as like a crier. I want to do something real quick. I want to pivot and I want to do like some rapid fire questions. Can I do that?
Sure.
All right. So what people may not know about you is that you are really big on social media. So like when I say really big, like you're on social media like a teenager. So Instagram or TikTok? I'm gonna ask you some this or that questions.
Okay.
Instagram or TikTok?
Maybe Instagram. I love both of them.
Yeah, cause you send me stuff on TikTok. You'll be up in the middle of the night laughing at TikTok stuff.
But when I laugh at TikTok, and I know this is the babies. I always send them to Tavia. I just get a kick out of that.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because do you notice that a lot of those are like AI?
I know they're AI.
But it's still funny.
They're still funny, but Tavia said, "Mom, don't send me that."
So Instagram or TikTok, are you a coffee or tea kind of a person?
Coffee.
Yeah.
I'm a coffee person.
But you drink your coffee decaf.
At times.
Oh, sometimes you need a little energy.
Yeah, no, when I go over brunch, that's my favorite thing. Where's the coffee?
Oh, yeah. Brian is your baby son.
My baby son, yes.
You had 3 sons and 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer, it depends. I prefer tea for my voice, coffee for energy. And I really don't enjoy Instagram or TikTok.
You don't?
No.
Well, when I go on Instagram, be looking for you all stuff.
It's my stuff is boring. Well, it's not boring. Sorry.
I look for you all stuff, and I gotta. It kind of keeps me up to date.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the benefit of social media. I think
Hmm.
for some people it's like divisive and it like makes them like separate from reality. But I
Right,
also
right,
think we do have family that lives in different states,
right,
and so
and
it's easy that like we can engage each other
hmm
in that way. When you like, if you go back to you were born in 1950.
yes.
Go back if you go back to 1950 and you think about um, what you thought the year 2025 would have looked like. Does it look like what you thought it would have looked like?
No,
Yeah. What did you think it would have
no.
looked like?
Well, now let me go back. 1950. That's way back.
I mean, but you would have grown up
Yeah, but
mostly in the
I was
50s,
growing up.
60s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, I came to Maryland in was it 68? When I came out of high school, my
Mhm.
mom asked me, she said, and I was 18, she said, she gave me the choice to
Mhm.
either stay home
Mhm.
or come here. I wanted to come where my older sisters were,
Mhm.
and I came here.
Mhm.
And I just enjoyed the city.
Mhm.
I enjoyed the life. To me, the country is. I
I
would
know.
not go back down there to
Don't
live.
enjoy it.
It's to me, it's nothing down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you did you know that you were gonna like the city before you moved out of
Mhm.
North Carolina?
Yeah, I did.
Where'd you grow up at? Because people don't know.
I grew up in North Carolina.
What part of North Carolina?
It's called Roanoke Rapid, North
Okay.
Carolina.
I always start to say Roanoke, but I know that's
It's
not it.
Roanoke Rapid, then Weldon.
Right.
Yep, North
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yeah. It's when we went there a couple years ago, and every time y'all asked me to go back, I couldn't
I
find it.
know, and see, where my parents lived. My father was a what you call sharecropper. He was a sharecropper,
Mhm.
and on the farm, we worked on the farm.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, but I had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when you told me that because I was a kid and I was stupid. When you told me that y'all used to work on a farm and y'all used to pick cotton, I thought y'all
Yes.
were slaves. I was so stupid. I literally, I was surprised by that. Okay, so you knew you were gonna like the country before you moved out here. Um,
No, I knew I was going to
like you
live
like the
the
city,
city.
right?
Yes, because
When you came here, you lived with Aunt. Who?
When I first came to Maryland, I lived with my older sister,
Aunt Ernie.
Aunt Ernie, and then I moved
Was
with.
she married at the time, or she was
Uh
single?
huh.
Okay.
She married Uncle Joe.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she lived on Culver Street.
Okay.
Okay, and June, her daughter, and Vanessa. She didn't have the room basically, so then I moved with uh, Aunt Louise. Now Aunt Louise children, and I want you to think about it now. My older sister's children, we are all basically around the same. We were close in age.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, and I wanted to be at Louise because she had the children.
Mhm.
And we all communicated together
Mhm.
and had fun. To me, it was fun at Aunt Louise's house.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah.
I got you. Okay, so I want to stay on the topic of your childhood for a second, and I guess I can jump in on this too. You ready for another question?
Go ahead.
All right. What popular trends from your youth do you secretly wish would come back? So that could be clothing trends, hairstyles, cars, whatever it is. It could be something weird, but like something that it was your jazz back in the day.
Clothing.
What like clothing styles did you like?
Ooh. We
Y'all were big on shoulder pads back. What?
we were,
were you big on
yeah,
shoulder
we
pads?
were, and short dresses. We were.
You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first.
But you know what? My mom, my
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What did you like about these short dresses?
look. I didn't do too many. No, I didn't do. Look, I've not always been saved, Terrence.
This is what I wanted to get to.
I've not always been saved. God has saved me.
Well, we know God saved you. Well, tell me a little bit about what unsaved Tina was like.
Oh,
I'll tell you what unsaved Terrence was like. It's okay.
okay. Well, clubbing. Yep, clubbing.
You heard it here first, guys.
I remember my sisters and we would go out to this club called Robert Lee's.
Oh, that sound like an old club.
We would go to,
Robert Lee's.
we would go
Sound like
we would go to the
sound like
club.
a military general.
We would go to the club, and in the club, we'd be dancing and having fun and whatnot. And they were ready to go home. I wasn't ready to go
Yeah.
home. They would say, "Ting, come on, come on," and I would let them leave me.
Mhm.
And then they would get home first, and I would get another ride home.
Mhm.
And when I got home, I would say, "Mom, they left me."
Mhm. And you allowing your siblings, and you a party animal because you were partying late last night. Because I came over your house about 11 o'clock and you were home.
Look, no, I wasn't a party animal. I was with my Paula.
No,
and
yeah, I know
I
you-
celebrated her sister Teresa's 75th
birthday.
Yes, I did.
That's what
But no, I sat. I didn't. I just sat, ate,
No, it's okay.
enjoyed everyone. Yeah,
Yeah, I like a good party and a good social outing myself.
yeah.
Now the jury is still out on if these are my saved years or my unsaved years. So we'll figure that out. No, I do like to have a good time. What did you enjoy about being like out? What did you enjoy about clubbing?
The dancing, the music.
Were you a dancer? Did you like?
I like dancing.
I like
yeah,
that.
I did.
I like that.
Dancing, the music. That was basically it.
Who was your like? So who was the artist or the musicians that you like to listen to back then?
Back then was Otis Redding.
Oh, I like Otis.
What's his name? Al Green.
Mm-hmm. Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an old taste for music, so I like all
Do
these
you?
artists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
What did you have any women that you liked? Women singers, Etta James, Aretha.
Aretha Franklin, mostly. And I forget what's her name. Candice Staten.
Oh,
Yeah.
educate me. You know who that is, Jay?
Candice Staten. Yeah, you don't know Candice Staten? Yeah.
No, I'll look him up.
Look her
Yeah,
up.
we have a musical family.
We do.
We have a musical family.
We do.
I know my biological grandfather he had a quartet group.
He had a gospel group,
What was the name of the group?
the Holy Lights.
The Holy Lights. I've looked up some of their stuff on socials.
Yeah.
But did you see anything similar in him and his journey as a musician and like in the gospel space? And then, when I was in the gospel space or Uncle Terry, like when we were in that, did you see any similarities?
I did.
What do you think they were?
For one thing, I think that's where y'all got your musical and your voices.
Yeah.
Because he had a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And you, Terry, Sean, I mean, the whole
Uncle Sean
family.
was in it too.
Yeah.
Was there anything about that, like that seeing us go into that space that concerned you, like,
Not really.
Oh, that's good.
Not really.
Yeah, because I tell people, like when I was younger, I was 16, going out and doing gigs. So
Yeah.
I was still in high school. I was going out and doing gigs, and I never experienced you to be like hovering and saying that I couldn't go and do stuff. So for me, I don't understand when people have parents who don't want to allow them to like explore their careers and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
but I wanted you all to, like you said, explore your careers and, I didn't want to hold y'all back.
Yeah.
Don't, and I would tell any parent out there today, do not hold, if they see a gift in you, let you go into
Explore
that
it.
gift, explore it. Yes, yeah.
But like, how do you find yourself able to like give your child? Because I actually think that's a thing that a lot of people talking about. Like we talked a little bit earlier about generations. I think that's a common theme. Now people don't know how to understand that their children are individuals. So how do you recognize that your children are individuals and your job is not to? Are you saying that your job is not to be their dictator or their ruler, but just really to coach them up in the best way that is for them? So how do you do that?
How do I do that?
How did you do that?
How did I do that? Guiding them, trying to guide them in the right direction to go. For an example, if I saw you doing something that's off track,
Mm-hmm.
you know, then I would say something. But as far as just trying to keep everybody on the right track,
Mm-hmm.
my main focus is following God.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and I'm going to go back to that again. I know there was a calling on my life,
Mm-hmm.
even as a little child coming up. And, just having the fear of God,
Mm-hmm.
because I know there were certain things, I'm not going to do that
Mm-hmm.
because I fear God,
Yeah.
you
But y'all
know.
couldn't even go to the movies when y'all were younger. Y'all couldn't play card games and stuff like that, right?
But down the country,
Oh,
we
you
didn't
didn't have
have
it.
that. We
Oh,
didn't have that. I
that's
think we
true.
might have had one movie,
That's
but that
true.
we really didn't have that.
That's true. I never thought about that. So it
So
really
we
didn't. A
we
lot of the do's and don'ts didn't affect you.
right, and no, mm-mm.
I never thought about that. Yeah, I don't know how I would be able to navigate through those do's and don'ts. Okay, I have some questions for you from some special people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna pull them up, and I'll tell you. It's one of your children. I'll tell you who asked it afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the question. It's multi-layered, so I can repeat it. You've spent so much of your life caring and teaching children. You're an early childhood educator, so you
Mm-hmm.
teach 3 to 4 year olds, and you still do that.
4 and 5 year
Oh, 4 and 5.
olds.
Excuse me, 4 and 5 year olds. You still do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Yes.
put a pin here. What makes you like? What makes you want to continue working with children? Because I would never.
You would never.
No.
First of all, I love children,
Hmm.
and I think that's a gift that God has placed in me.
Hmm.
And I get the joy of
Yeah.
just being around the children,
Yeah.
and and I'm gonna be honest with you. Even when you're children they uplift you.
That's true.
They
That's
do.
very
They
true.
uplift you.
That's very
And
true.
I just enjoy right now. I have a group of 12-year-olds, 4 and 5.
You have
prepare,
12, 4 and 5 year olds.
yes,
Gotcha.
preparing them for kindergarten.
I love it.
And, when I teach, because I've had my director and my boss, Miss
Mm.
Lynn, tell me to kind of bring it down a little bit. But, I want the children, when they get into kindergarten, they should be reading.
Yeah.
They should be writing.
Yeah.
And I have brought them to that point. When they graduate, they're reading,
Yeah. When they
they're
go to
writing,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And because I wouldn't want my child to go to kindergarten not being able to spell their name,
Right.
not being able to write their name.
Yeah.
There are certain things that, you would want. And, I'm going to be honest, sometimes the parents, when they come back, when they go home, and they ask the children are kind of getting off, the first thing they do, I'm going to call Miss Tina.
Mhm.
And it kind of, bring them in. Okay.
Oh, so when the parents say to their kids, they're gonna call you.
Yeah, because if
And
they
gets
don't
the
want to
kids
do
together.
something, they don't want to do the homework.
These
or
parents must
whatnot.
be horrible.
No, they're not.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
love
No,
my
I'm kidding.
parents. I do.
No, I love that. Have you ever had a moment where I'm gonna get back to this question? I promise. Have you ever had a moment where there was a parent that you didn't like? Don't say names, but there was a parent or children that you didn't
I
like.
never, 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 never.
I love that. I'm
Never.
certain I would have had
Never.
parents or children I would not have liked.
Never. No.
But that's why you're in the position.
And yeah, and some of the children tell me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of them, especially at this age, this time, in this world, children are, and like you just said, you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I think God gives you the patience
Yeah, for sure.
to work with children.
Yeah.
And to do, because some of these children, I'm telling you,
Yeah. What do you think the main thing with them is? Do you think it's phones? Do you think it's
I think
lack
it's,
of parenting? What do you think it is?
number one, be honest, lack of parenting, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I ask the question on Monday mornings, at our circle time, I ask them, well, how many of you, we always have talk time before we start circle. and I would ask them, who went to church? And it may be 2, 3 children.
Oh, well.
And
Yeah.
I think, the parents take them to Sunday school.
Oh,
You
so
know.
you think it's the children are missing church?
I think they're missing.
Yeah.
And they're missing. Because I would ask them the question, who, I asked them, I said, who made you? Or I would say, who's taking care of you? Certain things. And they would say, Mom and Dad. Sure, Mom and Dad are taking care of you, but,
Yeah. I mean, I also think that, like, there are so many different, like, religious perspectives and things that children have. And parents, I think a lot of people kind of have drawn away from church because there's so many, like, issues and there's so much weirdness with church. So, but I do agree, though. I think in the bare minimum, church was like a social meeting space, but also it gave us a lot of structure.
It did.
You know what I mean? A lot
It
of
did.
direction and things like that. And it taught us, I think, some basic virtues and things like that. So
Right.
I agree that church at least was important, certainly in that way. I think for some people, it may have, like, kind of harmed them and things like that in some ways. But I certainly think when it comes down to, like, just getting structure and understanding, like, how to honor, how to love, how to be respectful,
Right.
I think that was important. So,
Right.
okay, so we went around the mulberry bush because, I have undiagnosed ADHD. But I want to ask you a question. You spend so much of your life caring and working for kids. But if you could have put any other career, what do you think it would have been?
It would have been nursing.
Oh, really?
It would
So
have
still
been
in
nursing.
care.
Yep,
Still caring for people.
because I was telling when we were coming here, there was a hospital. I worked at Providence Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Then I worked in the It's always been
Neonatal.
evolved around children. Then I worked at St. Agnes in the neonatal clinic.
I didn't know this.
Yes, I did. And then Aunt Carla, how I got into child care was
That's your
through,
husband's sister.
Yes,
Aunt Carla.
that was Aunt Carla, and she asked me to. What Aunt Carla was a school teacher, and she got tired of the school system. So what she did, she branched out, got her own center, and asked me to come with her, and that's how I started in child care.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that. And you've been in child care for...
Wow, almost. But you know what? I go back. I'm in child care because I counted from my oldest child.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
you think
from
about
Lucretia.
it. You think about
Oh.
it. Raising your children, and then working with other children. But I've been at my job. Matter of fact, all of you all was at my.
I know you were
center.
all of our first educators.
Yeah. So I was I'm about 40 years. I've been
Wow.
close to 40 years at Child Care Windsor.
Wow,
Yeah.
I
And
was
just
thinking...
one job.
I was thinking that it was like 30-some years, but 40 is
Well,
is
think
impressive.
about how old would Brandon be?
Brandon would be 33,
So about
34.
35.
Oh,
About
no,
30.
Brandon might be 30.
Brittany, 32.
Brandon would be 33, 34.
Yeah,
I'll be 31.
I know. But they told me,
Y'all, off camera, I said I'll be 31. My aunt said, Jesus.
but going back to my when Brandon, no, because I worked at Child Care Wednesday. Brandon was what, 30, 35, 34?
Well, when Brandon passed in 2020, he was 28. So it's been 5 years. He would have been 29 that year, so he would be 34.
Yeah, but I was going 34, yeah. So
about 35 years, you had it right.
Yeah, about 35
35
years.
years.
I've been at Child Care Windsor. Yep.
Now that you are 75, still choosing to be an educator, you could retire if you want to, but you want to. You want to work with kids.
I don't want to retire right now.
You don't need to.
I just love being around children.
Yeah.
Idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Well, that's true.
That's true.
That's very true.
No, I try to stay busy.
Yeah. That's true. I think that
And
might
if
be
I
part of the reason why I'm
wasn't,
so busy.
and
too.
if I wasn't working with children, I would probably be there at my church.
Really?
Yeah, I would be at my church helping out
I love
there
that.
because I'm a part of the ministry there, and I love my church.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I also think that there's like a appreciation your generation does church way different than mine does. Your generation, y'all find a church, that's your church.
Yes.
My generation, we go to a church, we like, I ain't like what Pastor said today. And we be at a
No.
different church. I mean, I'm not that way. I'm just saying like the,
Right.
the
I love
zeitgeist of
my
my generation.
pastor. I love my
I do
first
too.
lady, Mom Saunders. And, you know, it's just so much. I remember before I found the church, I prayed and asked God, send me to the right church. And
Were
he
you still
sent
clubbing
me.
at the time? I'm not being funny. I'm
No,
just
I
asking.
wasn't.
You
No.
still clubbing.
Because I remember when Cretia and I were little, Elder Foster used to pick me and the children up
Mm-hmm.
and take us to his house for Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Tavier's godparents.
Right, I
now,
remember.
yeah. But they would take us to their house for Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I mean, it was just,
Yeah,
Just-
I think that, again, obviously faith is important. Like, it's important value and virtue, but also just church and the community that church gave you was important. I think me having that been like a part of my professional career, I've had like a slightly different take. But I still maintain the same like appreciation and support and
Right.
appreciation and love for what church represented. If you could give yourself one piece of what you know now at 75, what piece of wisdom would you give your younger self?
My younger self, wow. Well, rephrase that.
So like if you could like see your younger self, like if you could go back in time, you as who you are now, and if you could go back and tell little Tina anything, what would 75 Tina tell little Tina?
Little Tina. You put me on the spot.
You can take your time and think on it. Well, look, I'll tell you something I want to tell you. This was a setup so I could tell you something I want to tell you. But think about your answer though.
Okay, I'm
Please.
thinking about it.
If I could give you any kind of advice, can I give you a piece of advice?
Sure.
I think you should enjoy this moment. I think I've seen you for the past few years be happier than I've seen you in a long time.
Oh.
And so I think you should enjoy this moment. I think you should do all the things you want to do, eat the food you want to eat, travel where you want to travel, spend time with the people that you want to spend time with. Because I think that you have shown me and I think our whole family what resilience and strength looks like. And like strength doesn't always look strong, right? It doesn't always feel strong, but I think you have shown us what it's like to endure, maintain faith, hope, good perspective. And so I think you should lean into enjoying every ounce of joy that comes your way. And I think you are riding high, and I think you should continue to do it. Because you deserve it. Like, you deserve it. I couldn't think of any other person that deserves the world besides you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
You know, I think I am more rooted and grounded in Christ. Now, I would have told my younger Tina to trust God more.
Okay.
Trust Him more. My younger younger self, would be to, go after the things that you really wanted
Yeah.
and deserved.
In one of our episodes, we're going to talk about that too, like building what you want and going after the life you want. I have advice for your younger Tina too.
What's that?
She's going to have a grandson named Terrence, and he's going to be her favorite.
I
I would help tell her to look into the future and to love him and cherish him. But the love I have for you existed when I was a kid. You remember, you finished the story so people don't think I'm making it up.
Okay.
We were in the car, and I was just looking at you. What did I say?
We were in the car, and he was just looking
And how
at me.
old was I? I had to be like 5 or 6, if even that old.
I don't think you were that old. I think you were like 4.
Yeah.
And you were just looking at me. I said, Terrence, why are you looking at me like that? You said, oh, because I love you so much. I said,
Y'all, I love this woman so much. It's crazy.
oh, and I love you too,
I love you
Terrence.
too.
I do.
I love you so much.
So much.
I love you too. When did you realize that I was your favorite grandkid?
I'm not going to answer because all of you all are my favorite. You're not putting me on the spot.
When did you realize that I had a special place in your heart? That this is so sick. I'm in a competition by myself to be your favorite grandkid. I know you're very judicious. You love everybody.
I do. I
fairly,
love
but
all my
you do.
grandchildren, my daughters, my grandson. I thank God for you all.
Yeah, we just
I
had
do.
Thanksgiving and you had a lot of us around.
I did.
We had
Yes.
some up from
Yes.
Florida. It's been a little while since we all been together.
Yes.
So how did
Yeah.
that feel?
That was, it was just a joy.
Yeah,
Family time.
yeah.
And
And
then
you get to sit
see,
still.
yeah, and to see everybody around the table having fun and whatnot. And
Uh-huh.
as I said, and I was sitting there, and I said it when we were all saying what we were thankful for.
Hmm.
And I said to you, I said, you guys don't seem like my grandchildren. You seem like my
Your kids, yeah.
children.
Yeah, you've been really. I think you've been really good at just kind of rearing us up, and not separating us as like children, grandchildren,
Right.
this person's kids, that person's kids. Like it really feels like one broad
Right.
stroke of the brush. I think that's the right term.
And y'all, I mean, y'all have gotten so big, and I look at you all and say, wow, these are my grandchildren.
Do you want to tell the people the time that you looked me in my face and told me I was fat?
Well, you were. You right. You were. I said, Terrence, you fat.
Y'all, it sent me into therapy.
Did it really?
No, it didn't. It sent me to the gym.
Oh, there you go.
I appreciate it. You have to have people around you that's honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. I think for some reason when I stress, I hold on to weight. So I just did a show
Yeah.
recently and I was 10 pounds heavier. I was eating really clean. It's just like stress. I puff up.
But you see, you buffed up, you built, because one of the sisters at church, when you were doing praise and worship,
Uh-huh.
she was saying how buffed you are
Yeah.
up top. Yeah.
And she was looking at me lustfully.
No, she wasn't. No.
I was just saying.
She was just saying how big you are.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
You know what?
I'm just kidding.
Terrence.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm your grandkid that cuts up.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I think it's me. I think so. Yeah, it's me. I'm the one that cuts up. All right, so we've come to the end of the episode, and I think this has gone really, really well. We've come to the end of episode 1 of Before We Forget, and I want to introduce this segment called Grandma's Hands, where we get the opportunity to hear wisdom from you, where you can pull from any era in your 75 years and tell us, pieces of wisdom that might help us to feel a little bit encouraged. So is there anything that you want to share with people?
Yes, trusting in the Lord,
Mhm.
taking care of yourself,
Mhm.
and just knowing that there's no battle
Mhm.
that you go through that you can't overcome through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
There it is. Well, everybody, you heard it here first. This has been our first episode. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it went well?
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really
Yes.
happy that we got to do this.
Yes.
We have many more coming. So I'm happy that we got to do this. Okay, this has been our first episode of
Before We Forget.
And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you can get all notifications of new videos and all the things happening. We're going to have some really cool stuff coming up. My name is Shawndré. This is...
Miss Tina.
And we will see you next time.
Yeah.